Welcome to In the Cut, the show that gets you up close and personal with BN and our community. And now, here is your host, Kevon Cameron.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to In the Cut. I'm Kevon Cameron. I'm your host. I'm the lead organizer of Black Non-Believers New York. Thanks for joining the show. This, of course, is the show that gets you live and up close with BN and all the happenings here. It's a 501c3 nonprofit based out of Atlanta, where we currently are this week. We're doing a special live broadcast from American Atheist Convention. So thanks for joining us. I'd like to introduce my co-host, the great Mendoza Thomas.
Thank you so much, Kevon. Yes, scoot over. So we are live here at the BN table at the American Atheist Convention. It has been a wonderful event so far. We tried to do this via GoPro. We were having some, we got to work on this. So, but we have seen some amazing people here, of course. Who have we run into?
Literally everyone. Aaron Ra, Matt Dillahunty. I saw Dave Warnock walking around. I haven't talked to him, but he seems cool. Yeah.
And I actually followed Seth Andrews today on the presentation. So make sure if you are here or if you are coming at any point to the convention, please be sure to stop by the BN table. I know we can't turn the camera around, but please do. And also please don't forget to support Black non-believers and the work we do. It is very, very vital for us to represent at events like this, as well as the events that we do. So, it's very, very, very important, and we appreciate you watching the show and all of your support so far. So, in addition to me and Kevon being here, we are also joined by Tina. Y'all got to come over here. Y'all got to come over and say hello to folks. And we live on camera here in the AATL. You got Denial, you got Ro from DC, and also Tina representing Charlotte. So we got the team here. We are and there has been quite a few BN members that we've seen here.
Absolutely.
And we have had quite a bit of traffic to our table.
Yes.
We have
I
been.
heard you gave a barn burner of a speech out there.
Yeah.
So all them people down here.
Yes. Yes. The main theme of my talk was how to address white supremacy in the secular movement and what we can do about it. It seems like, yes, the talk went over well. So appreciate that. And also, Ro did a show on Wednesday in College Park, and so we made sure we represented for that. And look at Kevon's face, who cares?
I'm doing a show now.
But I will turn it back over to you, Kevon. Just tell us your thoughts about the convention so far. What do you think? This is your first American Atheist Convention.
In person, yeah. So we did the virtual last year.
Yeah.
But this is my first in-person convention. It's really cool. It's nice to meet a lot of people. So Aaron Ra again, who kind of recognized me, kind of didn't, from Women of Color back 3 years ago. It's a really cool experience. I've been to a bunch of conventions, but this is one that I think everybody should come to at some point. You've been to a bunch, though.
Yes, actually, my first American Atheist Convention was in 2011 when we first got BN started. It was in Des Moines, Iowa. And I remember there were some firebrand protesters talking about everybody was going to hell and we needed to repent and such. We're not seeing that as much anymore, which I kind of think is a good thing. We're seeing more people who are coming because they are interested and they want to be a part of the community. And I think that's a really good piece to not having to fight with folks. So that has been a really, really good change. But yeah, we've been representing as an organization for at American Atheists since 2012.
Nice.
And we've been really, really going strong. People know they're going to see us here. And because it's in Atlanta, it's on our home turf.
Yes.
So we had to have a big showing.
Yeah, it's really cool. Even like, there's been no issues. Even with some of the people who aren't in the conventions, they're like, "What is that convention about?" I was in the elevator with a black family. They're like, "Well, what's that convention?" I was like, "It's an atheist convention." It got a little quiet, but it wasn't an issue.
Yeah, and so we have Gwinnell, who's one of our local members here in Atlanta. If anybody wants to sit down and say a few words, I'm more than happy to scoot. We got come on down. Sit on down there, Danelle. Come on. Yeah, let the
I get
folks
the
see you.
headphones?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
No,
They
you
should be able to
don't.
hear through that blue snowball microphone is serious.
So for anyone
hair
who
looks crazy.
for anyone who doesn't know, this is Ro. He's our BNDC organizer. He will actually be a full interview guest on the show at some point. He actually runs a podcast, the Where We're Headed podcast, broadcasted out of DC. So just wanted to reintroduce him to those of you who know him, and introduce for the first time for those who may not have seen him. But definitely check out. Where can they check out the Where We're Headed podcast, by the way?
You can find it wherever podcasts, wherever you download podcasts, primarily on Apple and Google and Spotify. And if you just search BNDC, like in that search bar, it'll come up. Where We're Headed is, 3 words, but BNDC is just 4 letters. It's a lot easier. So just put that in there and it should come up.
And when are you going to have me on that podcast? Because this is my show, and I've had you on at least a little bit for like multiple times now.
Yeah, I helped the launch of it. I remember January 1st, New Year's Day. Yeah. So this is the thing. You will be on there, right?
Like next week?
No, I'm going to tell you why. Because, I'm going to tell you why. The podcast is, first of all, we have a lot of content to kind of edit through. And so there's a little schedule of the shows in the order that we have.
I've known you for like 4 years, though.
See what Kevin likes to do is he likes to not talk about stuff in private and then come in public and then start talking about stuff and try to call people out and embarrass people on TV and on the internet. And then look with a straight face and try to act like he's just so innocent. Yeah. Do you see how this is?
I would just think that like a fellow organizer would get priority because you're an organizer and we've only been doing the show for 4 months, and I'm like, come on the show. So priority. I'm not prioritizing other people over a co-organizer. That's all I'm saying.
You wanted. You want people to see.
We got Mr. Phil Session in the building.
Hello,
Phil Session, YouTube veteran Phil Session.
Oh boy!
You put him in the hot seat this time.
After what I just witnessed, I'm not sure anymore. Goodness.
How you know, Phil?
I'm doing well.
So you're here. You've been to multiple. Of course, everybody knows Phil Session. Phil Session from Texas, formerly of the Atheist Experience, currently of many volunteer projects.
Yeah.
So what are you doing here specifically for the conference?
So first to support, my 2 organizations I'm on the board of, Foundation Beyond Belief and Recovering from Religion. Of course, I had to be here for that. There was no way, but. Also, I'm here representing Free Thinkers Association of Central Texas. We're, of course, talking about the Freedom from Religion Foundation convention that's coming to San Antonio this year. It was supposed to be in 2020, but 2020,
right.
Of course, happened. But we're excited that that's coming, and also to help promote, community service in the secular community. As I've given a talk, I think you were there at BNCCon in 2019, and the important that's pretty much all I do when I guest star on podcasts. That is my focus. That is my passion. That is what I want to talk about. And so we ended up setting up a booth unexpectedly, really, and are talking about that. I just wrote an article that just came out in the American Atheist magazine for this year, the first quarter edition. So they hot off the presses. I didn't even see it until I got here. That talks about the importance of community service and how to get involved and not to be intimidated when you see the large scale projects that may be out there, because even the smallest groups can have an impact in your local area, because no one knows your area better than you do. And even though you may have a small force, you can still have an impact on someone's life. Right. And so that's what I really want to talk about. That's what we have been talking about. And it's been a great experience just to see people, team I haven't seen in so long. Oh my God, just all my folks, and being able to hug and to talk and to go get something to eat together or whatever else. Like, it's been an amazing experience.
So where can people go to find out more information about the volunteer projects and the work you're currently doing right now?
Oh, sure. I mean, for those that are interested to get started in their own neck of the woods, you're free to look at the Freethinkers Association of Central Texas. So that's freethinkersact.org. To kind of look at our programs page and kind of see how we've gotten involved, and always reach out. You can reach out to me. Foundation Beyond Belief also has a program called the Beyond Belief Network, where smaller groups can get support to go out. And so a lot of, the hindrances come with, well, what if we don't have the volunteers? Well, how do we even get started? What about, money or anything like that? And so when you join that network, you can get advantages like applying for grants after you do so many projects. You can get t-shirts. I was just wearing one yesterday. That was a free t-shirt, and it doesn't sound like much, but when your volunteers are able to be a part of that team and they get their own shirt for coming out and putting their effort into the community, it means more than you think it would. And to be able to get those advantages just given to you. And we just applied for a grant in Austin for Austin Atheists Helping the Homeless to provide more food out there in each bag. We give about 3 meals per bag on average, and we are able to increase that for the next few months to about 4 to 5 meals per bag. And that was something important to us, just given the climate of what's going on in Austin. But you can reach out to Austin AHH, that's Austin Atheists Helping the Homeless. You can contact me there. Like, it's just all over the place. But if you find one of those outlets and reach out to us or Foundation Beyond Belief, we can definitely try to get you started in the right direction, because a lot of that is just getting started. And once you get over that hump, then you can kind of start rolling along. So
yeah, that's really cool. You're always volunteering. If we could clone you, we could solve all the world's problems. Always volunteering.
No, there's not enough hair grease in the world for that.
Okay, maybe some of your clones could be bald. I mean, that's nothing.
That, you know what? That's true. That is true. And I might make it there one day. There may be one day where all of this goes away. I have not shaved my head, short since 2006. It's been a really long time, but one day, maybe.
Okay. Thanks for stopping by, Phil. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate it too.
No problem.
Y'all take care. We go ahead and get out of this hot seat. Get someone else over here.
Tina, you're next to the hot seat.
Tina.
Anyway, so yeah, we're still here at the conference. This is day 2 technically. Technically started on Thursday, so I guess it's day 3. But yeah, we're still here. We have many more speakers to go. One of the speakers that spoke yesterday was our very own Tina Marshall from Charlotte, and you spoke about
abortion and how we need to get more involved in defending and escorting our folks as they go get health services.
Right.
And how we are being attacked by the extreme right-wing religious right, I guess I should call it. And it is life-draining, so to speak. It's very, very hard work, but it needs to be done.
Yeah, it really does. Unfortunately, I was unable to see your speech. I was tabling.
Oh,
I was
yes.
covering for you at the table.
Yes, well, somebody had to.
Yeah, somebody had to. I was unable to see it. But since you gave your speech just over a day ago, and since we've had literally dozens of people coming up to the table thanking you for your speech, getting your information.
Yes, and exchanging different ideas, because different people do it differently at their particular clinic in their cities and states.
Yeah. So if people do want to get involved, what are some steps?
You can reach me at Black Non-Believers of Charlotte on Facebook. You can reach me at Black Abortion Defense League, aka Battle, BADL, on Facebook. You can reach me on Twitter at Black Battle, and where else am I? Yeah, that's about it, I think.
That's about it.
That's about it. Yeah.
So we'll be here for the rest of. You'll be here until the conference wraps up.
Yep.
Of course, tabling.
Yes, tabling. That's usually what I do. whatever I can do to help.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I would look forward to spending some of that time tabling with you,
Yes.
watching people come up to you and say how grateful they are for the work you do.
Oh, thank you, Kevin.
And doing the real work. Like I do a YouTube show. You stand in front of abortion clinics and deal with crazy religious people.
Oh, I sure do.
Yeah, that's the real work.
I sure do. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is your first American Atheist.
Yeah. We the Charlotte Black Non-Believers of Charlotte has been around 7 years now. But this, and I've gone to various conferences. Definitely the Women of Color Beyond Belief. I went to the cruise last year. I've been to various little conferences here and there, but this is the big one, the one, and this is my first time. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully looking forward to coming back next year. I hear it is in Arizona.
I heard it was in Phoenix. Yeah, because I think that was where it was supposed to be, and then the pandemic hit. So I guess I'm going to try and bring it back there.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
All right, Tina, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
I'm gonna bring back in boss lady Mendoza.
Oh, cut it out.
Yeah. So you've been wandering around a bit. You've been talking to people. Were you able to grab Will?
I did not. I don't know where he is right now.
He's always busy. Somebody's probably asking him for free medical advice.
Probably, for those of you who don't know Will Judy, who is amazing, he's a medical doctor. We're going to have him as a guest on the show very, very, very soon. And thank you to everyone who is watching the show right now. We are sad. We're so sad that we couldn't see you here in person, but there will be so many other opportunities for you to see us live, and we hope you we hope you join us. But no, we haven't gotten Will yet, but we certainly hope he stops by. Right now it's lunchtime, just so you know. It's folks are trying to get themselves something to eat, and I will just tell you that the convention is at the Renaissance Waverly, which is near the new Battery, which is near the new Brave Stadium, and the area is called the Battery. Near Truist Park. And so there's a lot around here. You have all the restaurants that you can walk to from this hotel. You also have Cumberland Mall, which is across the street. There's a Cobb Galleria Center, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff nearby. It's a very, very beautiful area and I'm glad they chose to have the convention here.
It's really cool. But speaking of events, you were mentioning future events. One of the future events where we'll also be doing a live show, I think, will be Women of Color.
Yeah.
So we will hopefully have things more together
Yeah.
by then. Tech issues are always a thing. But yeah, we'll be doing that later on. We'll be broadcasting from our own conference.
Yes.
Later this year. And when is that again?
Yes. So Women of Color Beyond Belief, which just went live this week, is from September 30th to October 2nd. It will be in Chicago again. So please do mark your calendars. We're going to have an amazing lineup of speakers and other presenters. So please do attend if you can. Also, our very own AACon from November 27th to December 3rd it's sailing out of Miami to Honduras, Belize, and Cozumel. So if you can, please do join us there. And of course, we are ramping up our event schedule for the year. We will be at DragonCon or Labor Day weekend.
DragonCon is like Comic-Con, right?
It is like Comic-Con, but it is unique to the Atlanta area. It's a huge fandom convention. And what's
the crowd like? I assume it skews atheist at that type of event.
Well, it's more like the comic entertainment, TV. It's more than just atheism, but they do have the skeptic track, or the Skep track is what it's called, and it is everything atheist, humanist, and skeptic related.
But as far as attendees in general, I would think that crowd wouldn't be so.
You'd be surprised. There are quite a few folks who They love like they love the movies, they love the comics, they love the TV
I
shows.
don't believe it.
No, but they're still kind of religious in nature. They just kind of put that to the side for that particular event. It's really, really fun though. It's a lot of cosplay, lots of parties, lots of stuff going on. And yeah, many of them may not even like really care about religion so much to the point where that it really, and it's interesting. I've seen protesters there too. I've seen protesters at Dragon Con because they see it as just this evil, this very evil thing.
Right.
With
like the churches that burn Harry Potter books.
Yeah. So I see Larry Mendoza over there. I'm gonna see if I can get him to come talk to us from the Richmond area.
Cool. While you do that, I will remind people about Camp Quest because we actually have the Camp Quest people here.
Yes.
So I'll remind them about that.
And also Camp 42 as well. So
okay. Cool. So yes. So if you haven't already, if you are interested in camp for your children or anyone who's an atheist or a secular person within the community, Camp Quest is a great organization. You can check out their website. You can Google Camp Quest to find out more information about them. It's great. I believe they're also still looking for volunteers for Camp Quest. So check that out. Inquire if that's something that you really want to do. And now Mendoza is currently dragging someone over here. So we're going to make some space. Hello, sir.
All right. Hello.
Hi. I think we met earlier.
Yes.
Kevon.
Larry
Black
Mendoza.
Non-Believers.
Yeah.
Larry Mendoza. So what organization do you represent?
So I'm here with American Atheists, and I am the Assistant State Director for the Virginia and the Richmond area.
Okay.
And I recently stepped down from State Director and have allowed one of my assistant directors to move up because she's awesome, Dusty. So I said, I did what I could for Virginia under my leadership. It's time to have a different perspective, build up from where I left off. So
okay, great. So what is this is obviously not your first American Atheist Convention.
No.
So what is the takeaway that you want people to get from this convention? What are some of the issues or causes that you're promoting for this one?
So I'll start with saying that American Atheists has done a tremendous job in the last few years in supporting state directors across the country in issues that are very important. And it's even though we are an atheist organization, there are issues out there that affect us as atheists, but that are equity and equality issues. So we have been partnering, and if you attend a lot of the talks, are with other issues like equality, equity, and all these lead to an issue of separation of church and state to begin with, because the people that are pushing these anti trans laws or sex ed laws that are not inclusive or not things like that are all being pushed by the Christian right. So we have a responsibility to fight that, and also because it's the right thing to do. So we partner with a lot of organizations out there. And we, and that's, you can see by the conference that a lot of the talks are based off around equity issues, equality issues, and of course the typical church-state issues. So that's where American Atheists is now. Instead of just focusing solely on one specific church-state issue, it's like, well, what are all the issues that impact, and also for atheists to have equal rights and equal treatment as well.
Yeah, it's a weird time because society skews more progressive and things are getting better, but at the same time, the religious folk are definitely pushing back because they see the direction it's going, and they're very uncomfortable with that.
Absolutely, and that's what we're seeing right now. Is even though the majority of the people in this country are moving towards a more progressive view of life, we're seeing this pushback from the minority. The Christian right, I call them Christian nationalists. That's really what they want, under the guise of religious freedom, which is not religious freedom. It is Christian privilege. That's what they want, at the expense of everyone else. So what we're trying to do is, fight that and expose them for what they are, and we do that through state advocacy, and we do that through partnering with organizations that have awesome, statewide, ground, networks already. So it's like, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel. We're trying to help these organizations and forming these coalitions and partnerships. And that's been very successful in Virginia, at least, and other states as well. And with the key of us also training other folks in other states to how to do this. And so that's one of the things that I think American Atheist is being fantastic.
Right, you do. From when I remember, you guys are very helpful in setting up in different locations, because you want people to spread the word. You guys are very helpful with people starting their own things. You support other groups.
Yeah, and not just starting a group or whatever, which is important, but also allowing people to sort of address issues that are local, right? Because a lot of these, like for example, a lot of the voting disenfranchisement laws we're seeing, a lot of these also are occurring even in local governments, right? State and local. But there are bathroom bills, all this, or your school board or your school might have some sort of problematic issue. That what we're doing is also training people to deal with that, because that's very that affects people directly, and so what we're doing is we're building this grassroots sort of network that we're not only dealing with statewide but also local. So when we have groups peppered throughout the state, and each one of them now is dealing with their own school boards, because we can't, as a state director, for example, I can't go to every school board meeting in the state. That's but if I get people to jump on board, and we will provide, we'll even write a speech for you. That's amazing things to do. All you got to do is show up and read. And we are allowing local communities to address local issues at that grassroots level, which is extremely important as a statewide and national.
Right. Cool. I didn't realize you guys were so involved. It's really cool.
Yeah. Well, I know that some states are doing better than others, and we're trying here. And we also, in a conference like this, a lot of the state directors get together and we share ideas, we network, we, and we commiserate. Obviously, we all have our, challenges, but it's a community of all of us that we're like, all right, I'm not the only one dealing with these issues, and it gives a little bit of sense of all right, I'm not alone. I can do this. We can, continue to fight. We lose a lot, we win some, take the wins wherever they come, but you got to get off your computer and get into the boardrooms, into your local government, and talk to your legislators, even if they're not on your side, but they need to hear our voice. And others will see that there is somebody there fighting for them that may be afraid. That's the thing. We talk a lot about atheists being in a closet. There's a lot of them, but if we show that we're there, and there's a community, there's support network, we're there, then we might get these people out of the closet and joining our ranks and fighting for justice and equality.
This is the worst traffic in the world.
Yeah. So what's the best way people can actually interact with American Atheists?
So the best thing to do is to go to atheist.org, which is the American Atheist website, and look up your state and what local groups are using. We list all of the affiliates. We list all of the smaller groups, and they're all there. And then you can also reach out to your state director, your assistant director through that website. It's got pictures, it's got contact info, email, phone numbers, and you can find your local representatives and then get involved at the grassroots at that level.
Yeah, that's really great. I love dealing with you guys. We've actually had Debbie as one of our guests on the show earlier. She's really cool. Unfortunately, I hear she's moving to Philly. So she used to come to some of the New York events.
Right.
Not a whole lot, not as much as I want her to come. But yeah, unfortunately, she'll be moving to Philly. So I won't get to see her. But I'll still get to start the conferences.
Of course,
and such.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
And Black Non-Believers has been a huge partner, for us. And I love working with everybody.
It's
Mendoza and everybody.
It's been fun. Mendoza's really, really cool.
Oh, she's awesome. She's awesome. And this organization could not have a better leader and founder than Mendoza. She, that's what makes a good leader. Somebody that really believes it and powers through the trials and tribulations, and that's what it takes.
I told her yesterday she just take care of herself because I'm not running this thing.
And that's the other thing. I'm glad you said that, because you gotta, watch for burnout. Take a break. You know, it's okay to take time to yourself and heal, because you cannot be successful or effective if you are just hurting, and you gotta do that. I ebb and flow. So there's a couple months I'm like, all right, I'm done for a while. Like, I'm gonna take some time to take care of some things and come back refreshed, ready to go again.
Yeah,
that's what you got to do.
It's important to not get burned out. So some of us eat, sleep, and breathe atheism, but there are other things.
Yeah, I mean, and some, everybody's different. I mean, some people can just go 100% all the time. Others are not, and you need to know where your boundaries are and set those boundaries and respect your own boundaries. And activism and advocacy will always be there. I mean, obviously, we wish we didn't have to be so 100% all the time, but yeah, it's important to take a break sometimes. It really is.
Yeah, it really is. Well, Larry, I really appreciate your time today.
Absolutely.
Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. This is great.
No problem. I look forward to seeing you for the rest of the conference in the future.
Yep. Have a good one.
You too. Take it easy. All right, folks. American Atheist Convention. We're still here live. Mendoza is currently corralling other people, trying to get other people. Karama, were you looking to have a seat?
Sure.
Sit down, Karama.
Alrighty. How's it going?
So this will be interesting because I met you in 2019, yet I knew absolutely nothing about you.
Okay.
So tell me a little bit about Karama.
I am from New Orleans. I was raised a Jehovah's Witness and remained in that cult until I was 25, because my mother and the witnesses promised my dad would come back to life. And Jesus was bringing him back to life real soon. Told me that when I was 5. I believed it until I was 25. Once that happened, I left. And before I could adjust, Hurricane Katrina happened. So I've been bouncing all over the country ever since then. And it wasn't until quite recently, around, I think not long before I met you, I met Mendoza. And she explained the whole concept that there were other Black folks like me who did not believe. And once I was able to meet people and find out that I truly wasn't alone, I was able to make a lot of changes in my life. And it's been a steady progression since then.
How did you meet Mendoza?
I met Mendoza online. She was a firebrand in a video that I was watching about Black atheism. And she just stood out and sounded like somebody, like a real person, instead of somebody who was just either full of rage from leaving their religion or full of wonder about other stuff. She sounded like middle of the road, sincere person that I could relate to. So I reached out to her, and we had probably about a 2-hour conversation. And I realized this is somebody I could rock with. And then I think we did a couple of meetups and then did a cruise. And I've run into her different places in the country and always had a really positive experience. And I consider her a very good friend and a very good person.
So what brings you to American Atheists today? Well, this weekend.
The chance to meet some of the atheist rock stars, Aaron Ra, Matt Dillahunty, a couple other people. Darryl Ray, I've been friends with for a couple of years.
Yeah, he was on the cruise with us back in 2008. I have a picture of me and him in Jamaica on this balcony. We went to, I don't know what you guys did in Jamaica, but we went to this, we went to Kanoko Park. It's like a nature preserve sort of hybrid kind of zoo, kind of nature preserve thing. It's really cool.
I got really, really high and just floated around and just tried to figure out what I was doing. Jamaica was quite the adventure for me. Then I ended up having a really, really good time on the rest of the cruise. But in Jamaica, I was high out of my mind. Sorry, I was elevated. I was elevated. I had a really, really good time. It's been good since then, man.
Don't worry, Karan. These recordings can't be used for prosecution.
Thank you. Yeah, I was high as hell, man. It was
so
great.
Good. So you're enjoying the con. This is your first American.
This is my first American Atheist Conference.
Okay. So
you're enjoying it so far.
Who have you met so far?
I met everybody I just mentioned. Well, there's Matt right there. I ran into Darryl again, and we had a great time. The funniest person that I've met is my roommate. His name is Mr. Carl, and he's pretty much blind. And he's been talking crap about me the whole time, and I've been taking it. He's a really funny guy, but he's an older guy who's expressing to me the way that he uses logic. He's been dealing with someone who is also a Jehovah's Witness, and basically asking me as the expert panel on these people what he should do. and it's been quite interesting. We stayed up till 3 a.m. I would love to say he kept me up, but no, it was fun. It was mutual, and we had a really good time. I had a conversation with Aaron Raw last night.
Aaron's really cool. I met him right before I met you, actually. Women of Color back in 2018. He's insanely cool. He's walking around with a giant blade in a sheath yesterday. You two. I can see you're equally eccentric. So
Thank you. Yes.
I see you two getting along.
We got along very well. When I first saw him, I said, "That's not a knife," and he was laughing at that, the Crocodile Dundee reference. Yeah, he's walking around with a blade, man. It's cool. Of course, to the uninitiated, he looks really intimidating. But no, he's just as cool. Met Seth Andrews. Normally, I have a buttery smooth voice like Seth Andrews, but today I'm toning it down. But yeah, man, just really getting a chance to get around and meet people. And hey, speak of the anointed, and he appears.
Yeah, just to take a little photo.
I'm gonna kick you out because there's
No problem.
There's a legend.
The man
right
has
here.
appeared. Thank you. Come on down,
There's
man.
a legend.
Who's this legend?
You, sir.
Oh, I'll sit.
Some of you might not be aware of this gentleman. He's been on YouTube a couple of times or so, maybe for about 17 years or something like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, Matt Dillahunty. How goes? We haven't officially met technically.
No, we just said hi a couple times, and then you end up on the line, and yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm happy to do the line whenever you guys can't find someone cooler. But yeah, so how's it going?
Pretty good. For those who don't know, I had a triple bypass operation in December, so I'm about 3 months into the recovery. I'm doing really good. It's just I can't stand up for a long time, can't walk around for a long time, don't have much stamina, but the conference is going great.
Yeah, and this is definitely not your first American Atheist Conference.
No. I'm on the board, and I'm at all of them. But this time they got me to do a magic show. So.
Yeah, I unfortunately missed the magic show.
Well, it was 90 minutes of me being out of breath and, doing tricks.
Okay, cool. I don't hate me for this, but I was never super into magic. I was more into the shows where they show you how the trick is done. But it's been a really cool conference. What exactly are you pushing for this conference? What are you promoting? What are your goals for this conference?
Nothing. So normally I give a talk or whatever. I'm going to sit on a panel with Aaron in a couple hours. But the big thing was doing the magic show, and I think part of it, that show's about teaching skepticism. But I didn't spend much time trying to teach skepticism last night because for me, I've been locked in my house for 2 years. Last month in March, we went to Orlando for the first convention that I did kind of post-COVID. I know we're not post-COVID, but and then we're here for this one. And I just wanted to, after almost dying and then being locked in my house for 2 years, I just wanted to get out and say hi to people and get a chance to interact again.
Yeah, it was really cool. I saw the picture you took with Mendoza, the 80s
yes.
picture.
We really full-on Run DMC for the first time since like 1985.
Yeah, it was really cool. I didn't see it for like 4 days and just popped up. It was really cool. Whose idea was? Because I remember seeing you on Atheist Experience, and you hinted at something.
So I had picked out the costume that I wanted to do, and part of it's because I needed to wear something comfortable anyway. So let me get some Adidas sweatpants and shoes and a Run DMC shirt, Kangol hat, and glasses. I found the little costume. Then Mendoza came on to help promote the convention, and I was telling her about it. She's like, "That's a good idea." Clickety, clickety, click. Next thing you know, she had kind of almost a matching outfit, and we're there as Run DMC.
It was really cool. Yeah. So you're just getting back out. I understand what you mean because I run the Black Non-Believers New York group, and I understand what it's been like the past 2 years. Definitely want to get back out there. It's really nice to meet you in person.
Awesome. I'm glad to be here. It's thrilled to meet you because I've seen you on the line and stuff, and we haven't had a chance to do anything.
Like, what is this?
Well, no, they told me right off the bat who you are and working with Black Non-Believers. I'm like, yes, let's do everything we can to get, because I've been doing this for a little while, and I'm tired of me. So that means other people are tired of me. Let's get newer voices in as well, and maybe voices that don't all look like me. Because we need to make sure we're addressing it. The atheist community of Austin. One of the things I focused on is we needed a community, but we wanted to be able to address the whole person, not just the person who wants to debate about the existence of God. So we have a bunch of different shows: Truth Wanted, parenting beyond belief,
Secular
sexuality,
sexuality.
yeah, addressing all this stuff. And I've worked with a number of different organizations. Mendoza and I have been friends for years. But I've also worked with the Hispanic American Free Thought Group because it's tiring to see things stay so static and so similar, where we're not always representing everybody that needs a voice. So
Yeah, well,
let's get more people involved all the time.
you've done great work, and I don't know anyone who's actually sick of you.
I am. If you're not, you'll get there.
You've done amazing work. I love Atheist Experience. I love seeing you on the Hang Up. Like, I think I've watched most of it. At this point, I don't think there's an Atheist Experience clip I haven't seen.
Wow.
I didn't start watching until like 2012. I went back in the catalog.
We'll go out and take a walk every now and then too.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, you know how it is in the beginning. You know how when you first discover the community, it's like you soak up everything.
Oh yeah, I read. This I started, like the internet was different. There wasn't even any YouTube. It was infidels.org and other stuff. And I just went and read everything that I could. And it was like, yes, let me be a sponge and soak it all up.
Yeah. But yes, thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate you taking. I know you're running into back into the.
Yeah, there's a talk getting ready to start. But
all right. Well, I appreciate you coming on. It's
absolutely
really great to meet you.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, Matt.
Hopefully we get to do more stuff.
Definitely.
I wish y'all were here. I don't know why you're not here. Whatever your situation is that you couldn't make it here, try to make it to the next one or one close to you. And if there's not one, make one. We need more of this now that we're coming out of the messes.
Yeah, definitely. Well said, Matt.
See y'all later.
Whoa. All right.
It was a great interview.
Yeah.
Great to talk to him. Is technically the first white guest on In the Cuts?
Yes.
Not that we're keeping stats on that.
Right. I mean, if we're gonna have non-Black folks or non-people of color, they might as well be as awesome and dope as Matt. So
Yeah. Was there anything else we wanted to remind people of?
Nope. Just that the Women of Color Beyond Belief conference will be in the fall. And the cruise BNCCon in November. So also Camp Quest is having a discount for the month of April for BN families. You can sign up on their website and use a discount code. That information has been posted on our social media. We're going to try to post it again at some point so that y'all can, if you're interested in sending your kids. Also, Camp 42 has a discount and a special as well, and they're usually based in they have camps in South Carolina. So if you're interested in attending that camp, that's great as well. They are great secular resources for for children in particular, and especially if you want to give your kids another good perspective as far as being secular. Yes, there is still time to attend the convention today. If you are in the Atlanta area, please do come down. They have day passes. Come to the Renaissance Waverly. Your parking is free when you are with the convention, so please keep that in mind. And also, for those of you who don't know, I serve on the board for American Atheists, as well as the American Humanist Association. So I'm representing not only BN, but also AA. So it has been great to see all of the people here. It's good to be doing this live with Kevon. We're definitely going to be doing more of these in the future. Of course, don't forget to support Black Nonbelievers. You can go to our website, blacknonbelievers.org, and I will let Kevon close out the rest of the show.
All right. Thanks for joining us. As Mendoza said, if you're in the area, feel free to come down. We definitely would love to see you. And of course, our next show will be in 2 weeks, I believe. So check that out. We'll be doing a lot more. I have some ideas. We're trying to expand the show and trying to do more things. But of course, always remember to check us out on social media. It's Black Nonbelievers on social media. Watch us, Black Nonbelievers on YouTube. Follow us. Check us out. Meet us in person on Black Nonbelievers on Meetup. And of course, as Mendoza said, donate at blacknonbelievers.org. Until next time, it was great seeing you. Bye from AACon.